Hello students, welcome back to our online class. So students, take out your English reader book. In the last class we were discussing chapter 7, how I went to why. So students, take out the page number 46 of English reader book. Well, what are you staring at? He remarked as soon as he caught my eye. Well, really, I began. Haven't you ever seen a crow before? He interrupted. So, when the narrator looked up this crow, he said, yes, why are you looking at me like this? Haven't you seen any crow before? Then the narrator said, yes, of course I have seen. Very well, then why do you want to stand here gaping at me in such an absurd way for? Said the bird. What did he say to you? He continued, jerking his head in the direction in which Mr. Nobody had appeared. So the crow asked, yes, what this Mr. Nobody said to you? Then narrator said, no, he have not told me anything. And Mr. Nobody disappeared. Mr. Nobody said nothing. I replied, very well then, what was it? He asked. What do you mean? Said I. Why, you said nobody and nothing, didn't you? And as two negatives makes an affirmative, that means he must have said something. This crow was puzzling the narrator. Yes, you said that Mr. Nobody had said nothing. Okay, and he also added nothing and nobody makes two affirmative. Two affirmative, negative plus negative means positive. So he meant it that way. So that means the Mr. Nobody had said to you something. I am afraid I don't quite understand, I said. Then he was very much puzzled and he said, I don't understand, what are you saying? Ignorant ostrich, remarked the crow. I was too indignant to answer, so I walked away in the direction of somewhere, pursued by the sound of mocking laughter from the crow. And the crow was mocking at the narrator. Okay. I had not gone far when I perceived a curious kind of carriage coming towards me. It was so he decided that to move to everywhere else. Then when he went a bit far, then he saw a carriage coming towards him. It was a sort of rickshaw and was drawn by a kangaroo who was jerking it along behind him. A large ape sat inside, hugging a carpet bag. So he can see a carriage coming towards him where an ape was sitting with his bag, okay, and the kangaroo was riding the rickshaw. The kangaroo stopped and stared at me in amazement, and the ape got out of the rickshaw and came towards me. So after seeing the narrator, the carriage stopped, okay. The ape get out of the rickshaw and moved towards the narrator. Do you know who I am? He asked, shrinking an attitude. The ape asked, yes, do you know who I am? I am Omhi. So he said the ape name was Omhi. Indeed, I said unconcernedly. I am afraid I have never heard of you. Never heard of Omhi? Cried the ape. Why, I am the inventor of Broncho. Then the ape said, yes, I am afraid that you have not heard my name. Then the narrator said, yes, I have not heard your name. Okay. Then he said, never heard of my name, Omhi. You should have known my name because I am the inventor of Broncho. What's that? I asked. The good gracious, what ignorance. Then he said, yes, what is Broncho? I don't know. Go and fetch my bag, he whispered to the kangaroo, who ran back to the rickshaw and returned with the carpet bag. Then he advised the kangaroo to bring the carpet bag from the rickshaw. This, continued Omhi, taking out a bottle is the article. It is called Broncho and is excellent for coughs, cold and affection of the throat. So from the carpet bag he took a bottle and he said that this is a cough syrup. Okay, cough syrup which is good for cough, cold and affection of the throat. You will notice that each bottle bears a label stating that the mixture is prepared according to my own formula and bears my signature. And he also said that yes, in the bottle you can see my signature and the formula which he had prepared. None other is genuine without it. The Wally Pug, when he returned from England and heard that I had invented it, declared that I must be a literary genius. So when this then Wally Pug, the king, when he heard that the ape the ape had invented that Broncho, he declared him very genius. Okay. A what? I exclaimed. A literary genius, repeated the ape. Why? Why on earth has cough mixture to do with literature? I inquired. I don't know, I'm sure, admitted Omhai, but the Wally Pug said in England anyone who has invented anything of that sort was supposed to possess great literary talent. The Wally Pug said that in England anyone who had invented anything of that sort, okay, was supposed to have some literary talent, and that talent the Wally Pug can see in the ape, that is Omhai. The Wally Pug? I exclaimed, suddenly remembering. Am I anywhere near his kingdom of why? Then when the ape was telling about the name Wally Pug, then he just tickled in his mind that yes, I have heard this name. Then he remembered, oh yes, I got a summon from Wally Pug. Then he asked the ape, yes, am I near the kingdom of Wally Pug? Of course you are, the ape replied. Okay, it's only about a mile or two down the road. Are you going there? Inquired Omhai. So he also asked, are you going to the king's palace? Well, yes, I answered. I have an invitation from His Majesty and should rather like to go there as I am so near. His Majesty? That's good. Laughed the kangaroo. Do you call the Wally Pug His Majesty? He asked. Then the kangaroo laughed and said, yes, you are calling the Wally Pug Majesty. Is he your Majesty? And he started laughing. Of course, I replied. He is the king, isn't he? Then the narrator said, yes, he is a king, isn't he? A king of king, corrected Omhai. Then he said he is not only the king, he is the king of king. If you are going to Hawaii, we may as well as go back with you and give you lift in the rickshaw. Then the ape said that he will give lift in the rickshaw. You are very kind, I said gratefully. Then the narrator said that you are very kind to give me a ride. Not at all, not at all. Jump in, said Omhai. Then he said, not at all. Hold on a moment, said the kangaroo. It's his turn to pull, you know. What do you mean? I expostulated. Your turn to pull the rickshaw, you know. You always take turns. And as I have been dragging it for some time, it's your turn now. But I am not going to pull that thing with you two animals in it. I never heard of such a thing, I declared. So when they were about to move, the kangaroo paused and he said that yes, it's your turn. He pointed out the narrator and he said that it's your turn to pull the rickshaw. And at the first time, the narrator denied that I will not pull out the rickshaw with you two animals. Who are you calling an animal? Demanded the kangaroo. Sulkily then, kangaroo was angry and he said, yes, whom are you calling animal? You are yourself, aren't you? Well, I suppose I am, I admitted, but I am not going to draw that thing all the same. Then also he continued denying and said that I will not pull the rickshaw. Oh, get in, don't make a fuss. I suppose I shall have to take a turn myself, said Omhai. Grasping the handles, the kangaroo and I haven't taken our seats, so we were soon traveling down the road to Hawaii. Then Omhai, the ape, he stopped. Yes, you both sit down and I will ride the rickshaw. And that is how they travel down the road to the kingdom. Okay, so this is all about the chapter, students. So students, read the chapter and then in the next class I shall teach you another chapter. Thank you.